Importing cars as military personnel, regulations and benefits. Welcome back to our channel, where we discuss all things related to customs brokerage and international trade. In today's episode, we will be delving into the import regulations for military personnel who are importing cars into the United States. This is an important topic, as many military personnel stationed abroad often need to bring their vehicles back home when their deployment is over. So let's dive right in and explore the process and requirements for importing cars as military personnel. When it comes to importing cars into the U.S., military personnel follow most of the same regulations as civilians. However, there are some additional considerations and benefits available to them. The first step in the import process is to check if your vehicle meets the environmental and safety standards set by the U.S. Department of Transportation, DOT, and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. These standards ensure that the vehicle is compatible with U.S. roadways and meets emission requirements. It's important to note that vehicles that do not meet these standards may require modifications or may not be eligible for importation. Once you've confirmed that your vehicle meets the required standards, the next step is to prepare the necessary documentation. Military personnel will need to provide proof of ownership, such as the vehicle title, and proof of active duty status, such as a military ID card. Additionally, you will need to complete the appropriate customs forms, such as the CBP Form 3299 Declaration for Free Entry of Unaccompanied Articles, and the EPA Form 35201 Importation of Motor Vehicles and Motor Vehicle Engines subject to federal air pollution regulations. These forms will require detailed information about the vehicle, including its make, model, year, and VIN number. One important aspect that military personnel should be aware of is the requirement for a customs bond. A customs bond is a type of insurance that ensures compliance with U.S. Customs and Border Protection regulations. While civilians are typically required to obtain a single entry bond, military personnel have the option to obtain a military entry bond. This type of bond allows for multiple shipments and is valid for 1 year. It's important to consult with a customs broker, who can guide you through the bond application process and help you determine the most appropriate option for your situation. Another crucial consideration when importing cars as military personnel is the availability of certain benefits and exemptions. Military personnel returning from an overseas assignment may be eligible for duty-free importation of one vehicle. This exemption applies as long as the vehicle has been owned and used abroad for at least 1 year. It's important to note that there are some restrictions on eligible vehicles, such as size and value limitations. Additionally, military personnel may be exempt from paying certain state or local taxes, depending on their duty station. Finally, once you have completed the necessary paperwork and obtained the required customs bond, your vehicle will need to go through the physical inspection process. This inspection verifies that the vehicle matches the documentation provided and ensures compliance with safety and environmental standards. The inspection is typically conducted by U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers at the port of entry. It's important to comply with all instructions and requirements during this process to avoid any delays or issues. Military personnel importing cars into the United States need to follow the same regulations as civilians, but they also have additional benefits and considerations. It's essential to ensure that the vehicle meets U.S. safety and environmental standards, prepare the necessary documentation, obtain a customs bond, and take advantage of any available exemptions. By understanding and complying with these regulations, military personnel can successfully import their vehicles and enjoy the convenience and mobility that comes with having their own cars while stationed in the U.S. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you found this episode informative. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos where we will continue to explore various aspects of customs brokerage and international trade. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications, so you don't miss out on any valuable information. Disclaimer note below. See you next time.